Friends, Rich Discoveries here. I want to show you a quick truck here we got out back. It is a Colorado. I'm not a big Colorado fan, but this one's pretty cool. Here we go. This is the ZR2, and for a Colorado, this is it's a pretty intense truck. You look up front, first thing you notice right away is the bumper's cut away. Let me get a little better for you. The bumper is cut away in front of the tire for better approach angles if you want to do, you know, minor rock climb. Don't forget, it is a factory truck, so you're not going to be doing crazy rock crawls, but it's got a better approach angle with that bumper cutaway. So you can tuck that tire in, you know, on an angle, climb right up something, which is pretty cool. Also, which makes this truck really cool if we can get under here. I should do this on a lift. It's got the Multimatic DSSV. It's dynamic suspension spool valve technology, I think it is. But these things are intense. This, here's the coil up top. This suspension technology actually came from F1 in the early 2000s, and then it went to other racing series. It went to Baja because it was such a good setup. And now GM has put them on their Colorados, and they're pretty intense. What it does is, it uses a spool valve rather than a traditional piston and washers to, you know, with the holes and the washers over it to control the dampening, which, you know, wears in time. This actually uses a spool valve, so they can control it much better. It's very predictable. They know what it's going to do, so it's much easier tuned, I guess. I don't know how to word it. It's much easier tuned for exactly what you need it for. It's quite the setup. I think the left cylinder over here is nitrogen filled, and then you got oil in these two, and it's regular suspension when you're driving on the roads, but then once you go off-road, start bouncing, that's when the spool valve kicks into the other section, the off-road section. I'm not really good at explaining this stuff, so just bear with me. But it kicks it into a different section, which then starts really dampening, really working where you need it most. So it's like a, how do you word it? I guess it's like a two setup, I guess. I don't know how to word this stuff. I'm horrible with these things, but that's how they work. So you got your road, and then you got your off-road, both work in unison to whichever one you need when you're driving. And that is quite the setup. These things are intense. You know, big, thick springs on it. And then look at this sway bar. For a factory pickup, that thing is pretty intense. I mean, it's hard to tell how big it is on the camera. If I could just get my hand in there, you know, you can see it compared to a finger. It's a pretty big sway bar for a light pickup truck. But let's climb back out of here. Oh, I'm getting too old for this stuff. It's also got your rock sliders on it. You've got the top part here, which protects your rockers and stuff. And then it's got the lower bar on the bottom there too. Yeah, it's got a whole shield in here, but there's a top bar here, a lower bar. So, you know, you got your rock sliders. You know, so they're pretty good. Also, you can see the how far these tires stick out compared to the body. I mean, they're way out there. They're about halfway under the, I guess, yeah, about tucked halfway into the body. Then the fenders stick way out, big fender flares. The only thing I don't like about these rock sliders, though, is they've got these traditional thin metal brackets, which are not focusing, holding them on. So I don't know how tough that would be. The sliders themselves are pretty tough, but I don't know about these brackets. You know, I'd have to see in action, you know. Get up on something, slide it. I guess it's not really designed to be sliding around on rocks, but it will protect you or protect your truck if you need it. I guess I'd rather bend those brackets and hopefully save the rocker or the door than have to replace stuff. But I don't know. This truck's pretty intense. Like I said, for Colorado, crazy suspension. You can see the shock down there. But quite the setup for a Colorado. I'm very impressed with it. Now, one thing I like is you got these LEDs, which came a long way the last few years. These things are bright as hell, and they look cool. Now, this roll bar, I've always liked roll bars. I like the look of it, but I think this is more of a styling thing, because if you look at it, it is bolted to the bed sides, not bolted to the inside where traditional roll bars used to bolt. So I don't know if this is a very active roll bar, because I think if you were to roll this thing over, I don't know how strong these bed sides are. I don't know if these would cave or not. So I don't really know the deal with that. I haven't seen them in action yet. I haven't seen one come back wrecked and rolled over to see what holds up and what doesn't, but they do look cool regardless. It's got a good look to it. But yeah, I mean, for a Colorado, this truck's pretty intense. You got the same thing back here. Your Multimatic suspension back here. Give you a good look at it here. Let's see if we can get underneath. Oh, I got kneel on stuff. Let's just climb underneath this thing. I really should be doing this on a lift, you know that? But there's one chamber there. You can see there's one in the middle and then the first chamber. But it's, oh God, I'm getting old. You know that? I'm way too old for this stuff. It is quite the setup for a factory truck, for a street-driven truck. Like I said, obviously these are brand new trucks. They're not being tested, so I have no idea. But once I talk to somebody who buys one and, you know, actually takes it off-road, gets into it, I'd like to get some feedback on how it works from a regular person. Obviously, the the reviews from the companies that ride them, try them out, they say they're excellent, but who knows what they're getting paid to say, so I really don't know. Get a look at this front again. Look at that front bumper, though, how that's cut away. Isn't that cool? I really like that. It's got a good approach angle, you know? Got your tow hooks down there just in case you need them. It's got big skid plates under the front, I think. Oh, yeah, look at that. Big aluminum skid plates under the front. If I get underneath, oh yeah, it's got them all the way back. So I'm on the front. It's got them over the transfer case there. It's quite the setup for a Colorado. Like I said, I've never been a big Colorado fan, but this truck is pretty intense for a factory Colorado. Got your little hood scoop on it. These vents aren't real. These are fake. They're just for looks. The whole scoop, I think, is just for looks. I don't think there's really anything underneath it. Let's go take a look at here, what we got for a price. It is, oh yeah, $50,000. Now, I don't have $50,000 truck money, but if I did, this would be a fun little toy to buy for a few years and play with. Oh, also it's got, can we see it? Let's zoom in a little bit here. If you look, let me get my finger in here. Right about there, once I move my finger, those things with the 4 wheels on it, those 2 buttons with the 4 wheels, which you really can't see, those are electronic locking differentials. So if you get stuck, you actually have front and rear electronic locking differentials. So when you put them on, obviously you can't do it street driving, but when you engage those when you're stuck or you're climbing or when you need 4-wheel drive, you actually have true 4-wheel drive. Front and rear diffs will be, diffs will be locked. True 4-wheel drive, get you out of a jam when you need it. And for a Colorado, this is a hell of a truck. I'm very impressed with it. You know, look at it here. As you see that the fenders have much wider fender flares on them, which I showed you before, where you can see just how wide they are here. Let's go compare it to a traditional Colorado. Hold on. You know, looking at a traditional Colorado, I think the fenders are identical. It's just that this one has the extra plastic flares that stick out to cover the wheel. That's what makes it look a lot farther. Because like I said, you got your rear tire. Look at that, sticking out like that. It's about halfway down the tire where the body meets it, the rocker panel rather. And this one, it's quite a difference, you know. It doesn't have that extra plastic lip on it, but I think they're the same fenders and quarters, to be honest with you. But look at the difference. Look at the way that looks, right? Let me just back up. We'll give you a good look at it. Back up. Looks like that. That. Quite a difference. Your factory Colorado and your ZR2 Colorado. But like I said, I'm not a big Colorado fan, but this truck is pretty intense. I like it. Got those lights up top, which I can show you from here. It is it's hard to see. It's not the best day out, but like I said, it's quite a truck. You know, it's a $50,000 truck, but the technology you're getting, the suspension technology you're getting, like I said, I have not had experience with it, but from what I've read about it, it's quite the setup. So I don't know. I'd love to see one of these things in action. I'd love to hear from somebody who's had one, who's taken it out, who's driven it, you know, who's used it off-road. I'd like to hear just how different it is, how amazing it is, because I read a lot of good stuff about this, and I'd really like to know. I wanted to share it with you guys, put it out there. I like it. I'm looking at these rock sliders. They're cool looking from the top, you know? They just look tough. If I was to buy this, though, I think I'd get a bigger, a little bit more beefier rock slider. I mean, that's probably all you're going to need on a factory stock truck, but I think a bigger one would look a lot cooler. But it's there. It's your 2-piece, 2 bars with the plate in the middle. And then those crazy shocks, those Multimatic suspension. It's pretty wild. Like I said, he uses the spool valve rather than a traditional piston with shims and oil and stuff. And it's also it's got different stages. You got your street stages, and then when it gets real bad bouncing up and down, you got your off-road stages. It's quite the setup for a factory truck, and I've read a lot of good stuff about it. I thought it was really cool. I wanted to share it, and that's about it for today's video. So subscribe to Rich Discoveries if you haven't already. If you've seen any of my videos, we do everything. We do new trucks, we do some newer cars, we do abandoned cars, we do abandoned areas. We're going to do a lot more abandoned with the summer coming. We do video games, old and new. We do a little bit of everything. So let me know what you want to see. We will hit it. We'll make a video of it. Until then, subscribe to Rich Discoveries. Tell your friends. We're taking off. It's only been a few months, and we're well over 100 people already, and it's just growing basically daily. So get in on the ground floor. Hit that, oh, sorry, I got subtracted. Hold on one second. Yeah, they're bothering me. I'm trying to make videos, and they're bothering me. Hold on. I'm making a video. So anyways, they're bothering me. I'm making videos. I got to go. I got to meet up with these guys. I got stuff to do. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification button, because Facebook changed. If you don't have the notification button on, you won't get the notifications, or at least you won't get all of them. So hit that notification button, tell your friends. Rich Discoveries. We're discovering new and awesome stuff every day, and we will see you on tomorrow's video. Have a great day.